Welcome to Not the Fuck Gaming Podcast, the podcast where we talk about games and sometimes we don't say fuck. I am William Hououin and I'm with.
Gruebitten.
All right, new tech today. We are recording on Spotify, and if all goes well, this episode should be on Spotify. It's going to be a shorter episode. It's going to be a pilot episode because I'm not too sure of the tech. So let's try this. We had trouble with Discord, with echo. Now I'm not hearing any echo at all. So Spotify wins for now. How are
Yay.
you, Gru?
I'm pretty good.
It's been a bit over a month. What have you been doing? I mean, outside of gaming, how do you
Oh,
do?
outside of gaming.
Yeah, life wise. I mean, how do you do?
Life-wise, just trying to get my life in order mostly. Trying to figure out where I'm headed to next year. And actually, I've got that sorted out now. I'm going to
Oh,
be moving to the Caribbean.
seriously?
Seriously.
So, it's not the same time zone, is it?
It actually is the same time
Oh
zone.
my God! What a wonderful news! That's not gonna impact the podcast. I'm so
Not at
happy.
all. Yeah, I'm just going straight south.
Mm,
Sunny skies from now on, except for when there's a hurricane.
yeah. Oh well, it's crazy. You must be. I mean, I would be excited,
I am
honestly.
excited. I'm already planning, like, okay, like we got to plant more mango trees. And what else? What else am I going to plant? Like, I'm so excited. I'm like
Oh no,
starting to.
that's gonna be crazy. I can already expect some pretty crazy good pictures.
Yeah, I've got five
From.
acres.
Oh my God, that's gonna be
Yeah.
what a turnout.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I'm quite glad for you.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Um, all right. Well, those are good news. It's always fun to get some good news.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So let's go to our last episode. We had a comment from Mike. So I'm gonna read it. Gonna riff on it if there's something to say, and gonna move on to what we've been playing. So Mike is saying, "Welcome back." He's gonna have to welcome us back again. It's good to hear y'all again. I'm here for the janky podcasting too. Yeah, it was crazy. We were on push to talk, and it was not our best podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to pour one out for Gru and Chimera Land, the end of an era. Have you found
Yeah.
have you find anything? Now it's really closed, is it? Like
It's
there's no
it's
way.
it's done. It's over. Yep.
Yeah. Have you
Gone.
been playing anything? Oh, well, we'll talk about it later, but I'm curious if you find a replacement.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Let's pour one out then. Um, I think that if you want game preservation, you should switch to a deck of cards and some dice. Video games will need to be maintained and updated. Even the hardware isn't permanent. Indeed.
True.
Lastly, I've heard, and it's unconfirmed, I don't quite understand all the tech, but I've heard that PS4 has some kind of internal battery and to authenticate your games. And let's say it can't access Wi-Fi anymore, and this battery is dead, you cannot play your games anymore. It's kind of a kill switch.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
but it's
Not even the offline games that would
yeah,
I
no, it
would
needs to authenticate. And if you're offline, it will authenticate with the battery. But if the battery is dead and no
but
batteries are permanent, it's kind of like in
what
the
if the Wi-Fi's down? What if like you're in a hurricane and
yeah,
all
well
the
then the battery have like some authentic pre-authentication stored. Your game
Oh,
are
okay.
authenticated through the battery is it's kind of the way I understand it, it's like
But
the
like on an island, sometimes it can take like up to 6 months to get all the system back up.
well, the good news is the battery have 5 years of time.
Oh,
Uh,
5 years,
but the
that's
thing is,
decent.
once your PS4 is 10 years old, how good is that battery? And once the PS4 doesn't
Hmm.
isn't compatible with the new internet that's going to happen in a few years, maybe, I don't know. Well, then, what I'm trying to say is that seems that hardware can be obsolete through different means than what we might think. Um,
That's
and so
true.
yeah, games preservation is but yeah, this whole story I haven't dig up to it too much, just heard it in I was listening to another podcast while walking aimlessly in front of the library, and they talked a bit about it, and I was not too sure about what it all meant, but I just thought, huh, it remembered me, like, the old cartridge where you can save your game. There's a little battery inside of those, like Super Nintendo cartridge, and once this
Really?
battery is
Wow.
dead, you cannot save in your game anymore. The game will work, you cannot save.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah, so yeah, no game is permanent indeed.
I thought it was like saving on a CD where it doesn't need power.
Nope. It does require, once you move into like flashcards, like starting the like on the Nintendo DS era,
Mhm.
you're fine. There's no battery anymore. But SNES game, Game Boy games, all saves are done to a small battery, and so old games sometimes you cannot save your game.
That's crazy.
You can replace the battery if you're skilled enough with soldering and that kind of
That's
stuff.
not me.
But I'm not, so yeah. Um, all right, continuing. My video gaming hope for this year is to get an actual gaming PC, but I'll never be able to afford that this year. Well, who knows? Gruebitten thought she would be living in the Caribbean
I
next
did
year.
not.
So
I completely did not.
So who knows? I'd also like to get a cross-platform MMO that doesn't feel like a job. Yeah, good luck with that. That also works on my potato of a PC. Yeah. Question of the fiscal quarter, because we've been like 3 months without a podcast. Um, I agree with one caveat. Caveat?
Caveat.
Caveat? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not a waste of time unless there's something else that you should be doing. We were talking about if gaming is a waste of time. And he's saying, no, it's not. Unless you're, not going to your job to play games.
True.
All right, thanks, Mike, for the comment. Really appreciate it. Mike is a very big commenter on the channel. I appreciate that. It's always fun to have some retro action on what we do. Um, all right, all right. What have you been playing, Gru, since last month?
Well, I've been looking around for a Chimera Land replacement, and Chimera Land. I don't. You
Chimera
asked me how to
Land.
pronounce things.
Yeah,
I'm
you
terrible
said
at pronouncing things too. So,
at some point you said it was Chimera Land, not Chimera Land. It's
okay,
Chimera
Chimera
Land.
Land. Okay, I did look it up at one point, but me being me, I've forgotten since then which one it was.
Yeah, I remember clearly it was Chimera Land.
Okay, so since Chimera Land, I've been looking for a replacement. One thing that somebody suggested was Dawnlands by Seasun Games, and that's Seasun with a U, Seasun
All
Games.
right, all right.
Um, so I gave that a try. Initially, it seemed pretty decent. I was like, maybe. Um, it's sort of like Zelda with a little bit of Minecraft mixed in. Um, They did have the annoying durability mechanic, but it
Oh
wasn't
no.
quite as it wasn't quite as bad as Zelda, so I was like, "Well, it seems like maybe on higher tier equipment, it's not gonna be annoying." Um,
But
and
no.
and you and you can craft your equipment, so it wasn't quite so bad. Um, but and they had a multiplayer option, like, you start with an offline world, but you can make your world online or something. I didn't actually do the multiplayer, so I'm not 100% sure on how it works, but you can share your world with up to 4 people. I don't know if that means 4 people in it at a time. Well, obviously 4 people in it at a time, but I don't know if it means like you can add 16 people, but only 4 of them can enter at a time, or it means you can only add 4 people ever. I'm not sure how that works because I didn't actually ever do multiplayer because I got fed up with the game before I got to that point.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, at first I was like, oh, maybe I played it for a couple days and I was thinking about, oh, it is a free to play with the gotcha element, but the gotcha element doesn't seem too bad. It seems like it's playable without spending a lot of money. Um, I was thinking, well, maybe it's time to, try out multiplayer, spend a little money and stuff. But there was one thing I wanted to learn before really getting invested in the game, and that was the monster spawning. The monster spawning rate is like Minecraft at night. They're constantly spawning all around you and constantly attacking you, and it's just so
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, so it's hard to, do your little crafting and housing stuff.
It's hard. I just wanted to go mining, and all these monsters constantly attacking me. And it's so much to the point that my weapons is constantly breaking. I'm constantly making a new one, running out of inventory space because I have to go get the stuff to make a new weapon because I have to fight monsters every 3 seconds. And as far as I could find out, there's no way to stop them from spawning. They spawn in the day as well as at night. They spawn everywhere. And I was reading on the Discord, and people were talking about building their houses up in the tops of really big trees so that the monsters don't spawn.
Huh.
And I'm like, okay, no, that's not. If I have to go up to the top of a tree in order to get away from them, that's going to drive me bloody bonkers.
Up until the day they do an update, and there's flying monsters now. you know,
I'm like,
seems it's more of a survival game. Like, it seems they're making it way more survival than crafting and
well,
other
it
stuff.
wasn't even that the monsters aren't even hard to fight. Like I
Oh, they're
can,
just annoying.
they're just annoying because I have to switch from my pickaxe to my sword, go smack, it's dead, smack, the other one's dead, smack, the third one's dead because they spawn in threes. Um, switch back to my pickaxe, go back to mining. I get maybe one more crystal, and then oh, here they are. They're hitting me again. Switch back to my sword. It is so annoying. Oh my god! I'm just like, I can't take this. I can't. I just can't. I couldn't do it.
Oh, it's fine. Very few games are for everyone. So, and this one might be just bad too.
Well, the thing was, other than that, I thought it was kind of fun, but they didn't have a way to stop the monsters from spawning that I could see. Like in Minecraft, you can spam torches so that you can mine in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And in say Dismantle, I love the way Dismantle did it.
Yeah, you can make them respawn, but you can activate those towers so they don't. So
exactly, so that when you
so you
kill
can
them,
keep
they're dead permanently.
Yeah, you can keep some places to grind, and you can have some
Yeah,
places where they're not here, and you can turn that switch on and off. You
yeah,
can make them respawn if you so choose. So
exactly.
oh yeah, no, Dismantle is one hell of a game, honestly. I need to go back and play more Pets and Dungeon, DLC. I've been, I've bought it, tried it for a bit, thought it was cool, but then moved on to. There's so many games, it's. But yeah, I need to go back to Dismantle.
Well, Dismantle has you can paint your house now.
Oh, that's great. That's great. They did such a great job, and it's such a small company. It's putting big games to shame. All right. What else? What else have you been playing?
Villagers and Heroes. I've been making my way to 95 slowly but surely.
I'm trying to get back there too. Yeah. It's
Oh,
you
yeah.
after you know you've gone through the game many times, it's harder, and there's new content coming. I do look forward to that new storyline,
Mhm.
because I always thought that villagers and heroes added quite an interesting lore and storylines, and I like the world and the stories, so I
Well,
do look forward to what's coming.
honestly, that's one of the reasons I chose to rebirth right away every time instead of going up and then rebirthing and doing them all. Even though you can get more of the goodies if you rebirth after you hit 90 because you can go and get all the sockets and the bounty badges and stuff
Yeah,
from all
yeah,
the zones and stuff. But I know myself and I'm like, if I go through all the storyline up to 90 and then rebirth, I'm going to be like, it's
that's
not going to be
rough.
anything new going up to 90.
No, no, exactly. It's kind of rough.
So I rebirth immediately. And so even though, say, last year I've been playing the game for what, 6 years, 5 years, something like that, because I'd never been beyond 75. When I hit the 76 content, it was brand new to me. I've seen zones I'd never seen before.
Yep.
And I mean,
I
I
think
knew
it's a
all the
better way to
spoilers,
do it.
but still, it was still something new.
Yeah.
And I think it's helped keep me in the game.
Yeah, that's yeah, I think that's a good way to do it if you want to stay very for a very long time. Um all right. Anything else?
That's it for me. Just a lot of real life stuff going on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
as you can tell, so yeah, I haven't been spending a lot of time in game.
I have spent a lot of time in games. I have a lot going on, but you know, it's just on the afternoon now. I have all my mornings free, so I've been pumping out content for the channel, and I've been playing a lot of games. Um, but there's only two I really want to talk about. The first one is Air Twister. What a terrible name, but still a fantastic game. It's made by Yu Suzuki. If you don't know Yu Suzuki, you know him. He's made back in the 90s. He did the Outrun games, and he did Space Harrier, and he did Shemnu.
I don't
So
know any of
you
those
don't know
games.
any of those games.
I
All
don't
right,
know
all right.
any of those games.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people know of those games. Two are pretty classic arcade games, and Shemnu is a pretty big, well, was at least a pretty big like it's really not really an RPG, but you know, you wander around and there's some combat and a lot of stories. It was when it came out. I tried to go back. I thought it didn't age too well, but I remember playing it around the time it came out, and it was like you know, I was blown away. It was a big step in gaming. I think it just didn't age too well in my opinion. But
I think games have gotten so incredibly good now. That
yeah, you know, I don't deal too well with too much clunkiness. Like you know, if navigating menus are a pain, it's a big turnoff. Um, yeah, and voice
mm.
acting in Shemnu is it's
Oh, the
in the
voice
category.
acting
Yeah,
those old games.
yeah, it's so bad. It's good, but not really. At the end of the day, it's and the recording, it's not great. And it's not to fault the game. That it was that way back then. That's how they did it. Um, but anyway, he did a few big games, and he went pretty much indie and did this rail shooter. It's wacky. It's really wacky. The visual, it's really out there. Big floating mushrooms, destroyed cities, deserts with Moai statue. Not too sure it's how you say it. Um,
I don't know.
you know the big ads on
Oh,
like Easter Island.
I don't know how to say that actually.
All
No
right.
idea.
Moai, I think. Anyway, it's not important. What I'm saying is the visual are really striking, and it's so much fun to play. And the touch controls, they're crazy good. Um, I started playing on my phone. Now I'm playing on my iPad, and I'm playing with my indexes. And the way it works is you move forward like automatically. It's a rail shooter. You don't choose where you go. You can move on the screen, but you know you can go to a destination by yourself. It's the game that is bringing you there, and
Hmm.
it's not too unfamiliar with shmups. Those vertical shooter where your plane is shooting automatically and you dodge bullets on the screen. It's
Hmm.
pretty much what it is. Um, but yeah, you enemies come in groups, and then you swipe your fingers on the group. It auto targets the thing and it sends the bullet. And I feel like an orchestra conductor with my indexes, bringing death to everything that's on the screen. It's a lot of fun. And
Huh.
I've been working on achievements for that, and I've been getting kind of good, actually. And I'm now aiming for the one-hit death run. There's a special arcade mode where you cannot use any upgrades, because during the game you can upgrade some stuff through multiple play, kind of like a roguelite game. You die, you start back to the beginning, but you can upgrade, you know,
Hmm.
your damage, your health, and stuff like that. And in arcade mode, you have to go like it's your first time, and you have to not get hit in any of the 12 stages. So and
You have to
I
be really good.
you have to be really good, really really good. And
Yeah.
that part where in stage 11 there's those pink mushrooms and that ray, and I've mastered it.
You
Yes,
did.
I
You
did
got
it. And I even did, it's not out yet, I even did a video where, for posterity, for if this game becomes good, not good, but yeah, like
popular.
popular someday, and people, have problems, there will be something on YouTube explaining how to get past this without getting hit. I get it. I really mastered it. It's been many, many times. I'm never getting hit.
Well, I'm
So,
dying to know how to get past those mushrooms, even though I don't play the game and I have no intention of playing the game because rail
oh,
shooters aren't my thing. But
yeah,
you
yeah,
were having so many issues with them on the live stream the other day. I was like, now I'm dying of curiosity.
yeah. Basically, uh, you do some like V moves, two very slow one and two very fast one.
Huh.
It's that simple. It's once you get it, and maybe some other people won't have trouble with that. Maybe I'm just bad in this particular section. I don't know, but I haven't find anybody on YouTube that you know. th- there's a few playthroughs of the game, but people are. I don't want to be mean or anything, but it's obvious they didn't play the game for that long. They're not. They're not super good. So,
Hmm.
um. Anyway, so I've been playing a lot of Air Twister. This is my game now. I'm playing this quite a bit. I've been dabbling into many games, and since I don't want to spend money on games right now, um, I've been dabbling a lot into Apple Arcade. I've tried that game you talked to me the other day, Manifold Garden. The 3D puzzle game,
Oh, that one.
and
That one's
wow,
trippy.
too much for me. Those man, those first person games, they're making me nauseous. And if I don't have my feet on the ground, it's even worse.
Yeah, the fact
It
that gravity is just all
that
relative.
game is crazy. You don't know what's up and down.
There is no up and down.
There is no up and down, but you're in first person. It was too much. I couldn't. No, but it looks so good though. It's
It
crazy.
Yeah, that one's definitely something that
I mean, I would recommend it. It looks amazing. If you want to see something you've never seen in a game before, this is the game. It's crazy.
yeah,
I just
but just
cannot
don't
play
take
it.
drugs and then play it.
No, no. Oh no, I would advise
it'll,
against
it'll
it.
blow your mind.
Yeah, Yeah, it's I lose the sense of where I am, and yeah, it's really weird. I've tried, yeah. Anyway, I've tried quite a few games, but I stumbled on Zen Pinball Party, and so Zen is making pinball like recreation of old pinball tables, and I mean, they are on Steam, they are on mobile outside of Apple Arcade, but there is an Apple Arcade with like I don't know 15 tables maybe. And I got into pinball, never played pinball. Like, I know nothing about pinball. And do you know anything about pinball?
I played pinball in those old like pinball machines in like bars back in like
Yeah, well, that's what Zen do. They're recreating those old bar machines,
hmm
actually. This is exactly what they do. But did you know you can win pinball? There's quests.
well,
I'm not kidding. There's stuff you need to do.
the machines I remember that you just it was just a matter of who got the highest score. You could just keep going and the numbers would go up. I mean, there was a point where the numbers would run out of
Of numbers.
spaces. But I guess it's a little different, huh?
My favorite is like wow, now I'm blanking on the name, so I'm not too much of a great ambassador, but I think it's Medieval Madness, and it's like castle team with a dragon, and and I've watched a video of a dude that won the game, and he explains every steps of the way to get it done. And so, like, you have the princess to save in the tower, so you have to send your ball like 3 times on the tower, and then you're
Oh,
gonna
that's
save her,
cool.
and then you have to do that, let's say 7 times, and then you have to send your ball in the to towards the castle to make the big door that goes down so you can cross the little water around the castle. I don't have the vocabulary to say how it's called.
Drawbridge?
Yeah, the drawbridge, that's it. And so when you send your ball on the drawbridge, it
Mm-hmm.
it lowers down, and then you have to send your ball 3 times on the gate to make it open, and then you have to send your ball in the castle to destroy the castle. You have to do this, let's say, 7 times, and then the eight
Wow.
times you're gonna beat the king and become the new king. And so there's like a progression of quests. You kind of need, I'm calling them quests, it's not exactly this, it's more task, but you have some things to do, and at some
That's
point,
cool.
and the dude he's playing the pinball, and at some point he's winning, and the game's saying like, oh, congratulations, you've become the new king, and all of that, and there's like fireworks on the LCD screen, and then the table shuts down. Like, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it just turned off. Well, it
Well,
turned
that's
off.
a
It's
serious
like the game,
improvement over those old bar machines.
like the game is done. You've won the game. Um, seriously, it's crazy. It's a whole new world for me. I knew nothing about pinball, and I've been playing quite a bit of the Zen pinball machine. And then I went into a place where there's arcade in real life, and it was quite the disappointment. We don't have that here. I don't know how it is outside of where I live, but arcade are done here. I went to this place. It's the only place here where I know there is arcade machine is to like the shopping center. But it's a pretty big shopping center, and there's a section of the shopping center that are like, there's even a Ferris wheel. Is that how you call it?
hmm
Yeah, okay. Uh, and those type, like fair type of attractions.
That's a really cool shopping center.
Yeah, and it's pretty big. It's a big section of the shopping center, and there's the horse going round and round and round.
Carousel?
Yes, carousel. Oh, so it's the same as in French. But anyway, there's all those types of things, and there's an arcade section. So I went there with my son, looking at the arcades, and my goodness, there's no pinball machine, there's no classic game. There was this Walking Dead game that looked cool, but you know, one of the guns were missing. You could, player one was gone. You could.
Oh no.
They don't even like do the maintenance.
Oof.
It's crazy. No, it was incredibly disappointing. Um, and
Yeah,
I don't know of any other place where there's arcade. Not that, I mean, I'm not crying at night because of this. It's fine. I have plenty of games to play, but I would have liked to try like a real pinball machine, or like a shmup, but on a real cabinet.
the last arcade I was in was like 10 years ago or so. No, longer than 10 years ago. That was back in California. It was actually a nice place. It was pretty thriving, but they also had like mini golf in the back. It was
Oh
huge.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had mini golf in the back, and like I was there for a children's birthday party, so it was set up more as a event center than just arcade.
Hmm.
But they definitely had an arcade section.
I mean, I'm sure they exist. I've seen lately Linda the Gamer Gal. It's a YouTube channel I'm following. She's pretty cool. She's doing every month like the games she beat that month. She's the one actually who gave me the idea of doing my yearly games I beat.
Oh,
Um, she even commented on my stuff, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, sometimes she's going into like conventions, or places where there's arcade. I know they exist because I've seen them, but around here I don't see. And I've looked, like I've Googled it. you know,
well,
I've
I
I've
don't know
I've
if this place
searched.
still exists. I mean, it was over a decade ago, and it's
Yeah,
way before COVID, so
yeah, that might have,
it might be different now.
yeah, yeah, might be. But anyway, this is pretty much it for what I've played. Now for the city question of this episode. It's not that city, but Kitsy on my, yeah. By the way, I have a Discord channel, link in the description. Ishan will be happy. Um, uh, uh, Kitsy, one of the Discord member, posted a bunch of silly type question that we can ask at the end of the podcast, and so I've taken one from there, and it is: if video games didn't exist anymore, what would you do?
Oh no.
Yeah, what would you do? There's no games. It doesn't exist. That's done. What do you do with the time you were putting in games?
Play a whole lot more tabletop games like
Huh, tabletop. All right.
Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. That's what I was doing
Oh yeah,
before.
yeah. You told the story that you were hosting one. You were organizing. I don't have the
Um,
right words, but
I used to play every Sunday
yeah, yeah,
without
yeah,
fail. Yeah. I
yeah.
used to play every single Sunday. Um, but of course, raising a kid on my own, that kind of went out the
That
window.
yes, that.
But yes, I'm trying to put together doing that again now. So
All right, that's a good answer. Mine was pretty easy to find. I would go back to making music. That's what I would do with that free time. 100%.
maybe you should carve out a little to do that
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah, maybe I should. But the thing is, my free time right now is on a schedule where you know kids are kind of going to bed, and it's not best time to make music. So
Yeah, I
I could have
know.
done it now during the afternoon, but instead I'm playing games. So
I
um,
wouldn't trade being a parent for anything in the world, but you just don't
oh
have
yeah,
much left
you
after
don't. Yeah,
after
yeah.
that.
Same here. I mean, I have no regrets. I'm happy, but of course, my free time is not that fantastic. So
And when you just exhausted too.
yeah, playing a game is definitely less demanding from me than making music.
Yeah.
playing music or recording music or being creative. It's yeah, and I mean I love gaming. I love gaming. I love games. So, but anyway, that's what I would do. So comment in the comment section. Let us know what you would do if there was no game anymore. If you're listening to this, you're probably playing quite a bit of games. So what would you do with that free time? So, all right, we did a shorter episode, but we did an episode, and we're gonna see how good Spotify can work. It was our test for the new tech. At least we don't have echo. I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty good.
Yay.
So, alrighty, thanks a bunch for talking games with me, Gru,
Thank you.
and let's try to do another one pretty soon if we can make this thing work.
Definitely. We a little more often than once a quarter.
Yes, one every fiscal quarter is the minimum, is the bare minimum we need to do. All right. Anyway, thanks a bunch, and talk to you real soon.
Bye.